Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome and happy Thursday. How we doing? How we doing? Welcome in. What is going on? Yeah, we have entered the truly professional Noctis era. You guys, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to share this with you. It's going to be so good. It's going to be tasty. I hope you're doing great. Chat, let's troubleshoot right off the bat. Can you hear music? And if not, let me fix it for us. Can you hear music right now? It's okay if you can't. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Do you hear music in the background? You do! Hey! That's a good thing. Because I'm getting nothing in my little sound bar over here as far as like, is there sound coming through on your side music-wise? But if you say you can hear the music, then I trust you, Karui. I trust you. Oh, man. You can hear it. We love it! Oh my gosh, we love it. All right, everybody. I don't want to delay a thing because you know what? Last time we streamed, it was such a crap show with the internet and the power, literal, at B in my home just shutting off, that I don't want to waste a single second. And besides, I got some beautiful things to show you. Y'all are too nice. Y'all are too nice. Zimnus, I see you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's been an interesting week at the university. So we just try to be here for everybody, and that's what we do. Living in the future. It's Friday for you fathers. We love it. You do hear it good, loud and clear. Okay. So you guys, tonight's a big deal. Tonight's a big deal. Not only are we going to Cosmo Canyon and I got my hat ready. You're watching me and Blitz, man. I was over in his stream earlier. I went over there to heckle him because he hadn't gotten his Pro yet. And then I think that he and I are going I think we're going to host an online Queen's Blood tournament together. So you tell him right now, you tell him that I'm going to wipe the floor. I'm going to mop the floor with him in Queen's Blood when we have our tournament. Can you imagine? Let's have a Blitz and Prof holiday Queen's Blood cruise tournament. You tell him right now I'm calling him out on my stream. You may be king of battle, but I am king of cards. It's going to be King's Blood by the end of it. Prof's Blood. Now, I think it'd be super fun if Blitz and I did like an online King of online Queen's Blood tournament. I think that would be so fun. King of Cards. The King of Combat, King of Cards. 2K, 2C. Or something. How fun would that be? Honestly, I think that Blitz and I should definitely put out like a we should book a cruise. Like Blitz and I should sponsor a cruise and everybody comes on board and then we play just chapter 5 in real life. Everybody that's on there is going to be part of a giant on the cruise boat tournament where we're all just playing and like he and I just kind of run it. Even better, we we assemble our teams and we have them fight like Pokemon, like in a card tournament. How funny would that be, y'all? We're in Mr. Beast Noctis era, maybe without the scandals. Yeah, that'd be great. So, heart of the cards, baby. That would be so funny. Okay, you throw it over in Blitz's chat. Tell him I want to take a Queen's Blood cruise ship sponsored by Prof and Blitz. Start the cruise fun. That would be so funny. Square Enix, put it together for us. Let's have a big Square Enix Prof and Blitz boat. We rented a boat for a That would be the funniest thing. We rented a boat for a real Queen's Blood cruise. That would be so freaking funny if we did it. That would be so freaking funny. I am dead. I am dead. Oh my gosh. What did you miss? Nothing. We're just talking about the cruise. Is the cruise going to be sponsored by Manscaped? We are now accepting sponsors. We are now accepting sponsors. Blitz is going to pull in some sponsors like, you know, I mean, your classic ones. He's going to get, in my dream scenario, in this completely fictitious cruise that we're doing, Blitz is going to bring in Elgato, and he's going to bring in, you know, Secret Labs and all that. And then I'm going to bring in Rogue Fitness and like Peter Millar. Okay? And it's going to be a merging of worlds. Gamer professional cruise. His is going to be like all the Avalanche stuff, and then I'm going to be like the Shinra middle manager. That would be so funny. That would be so funny. What? People were talking in the YouTube comments of the last video. They were like, "Oh my gosh, I'd love to meet you guys someday." And I was like, "Hey, let's do a freaking meetup. That'd be so fun to do like regional meetups." But I think even more fun than a regional meetup would be the Blitz and Prof Queen's Blood cruise ship. Get ready. I think that'd be so fun. Here for it. Oh my god, how great would that be? I don't even care where we would sail. We would go to like Costa del Rica. That would be so crazy. Queen's Blood tourney to Costa del Rica. There's an actual Costa del Sol? Are you kidding me? That's a real place? Are you serious? Sub, are you serious? There's a Costa... It's in Spain? Shut up. That's not real. That's not real. No, you're lying to me. Costa del Sol, Spain. Chat, did y'all know there's a real Costa del Sol? Shut up. It's freaking real. Okay, well, you know what we gotta do. You know what we gotta do. Let's go over to live scene, and I'm going to show you the real life Costa del Sol in Spain. Are you ready for this? Also, you're seeing in the background your first shot of the PS5 Pro, but instead of going into that, we're going to Costa del Spain. Okay, you ready for this? Let's look at this together. Okay, so you're seeing literally my Google screen right here. I don't think I've got anything sensitive on there. Great. Okay, so yeah, this is Costa del Rica, Costa del Spain. Look at that. I mean, there's boats. Oh, there's an amphitheater. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, let's go Costa del Sol on Wikipedia. Chad, I know you're here for Cosmo Canyon, but we have been so distracted. Y'all, look at these pretty pictures. This could be us in our Queen's Blood tournament. What if I was like, look at the power of the PS5 Pro. This is Costa del Sol. What if this was... It's so real. Okay. Look, you never saw boats in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Here they are. That's going to be our boat. That's going to be our Queen's Blood boat. It's not big enough for us. Look at that. Costa del Sol, Spain. Okay, real talk. How many of you guys, how many of y'all knew there was a place in the world in Spain called Costa del Sol? Sub, you don't count. You're the originator of this. Spain's great. You went there on a cruise. Did you play cards on the cruise? You did, duh. Jeffrey, you hush. You learned that today. I was today years old. Look at that beautiful water. Oh, look, a sky wheel, you guys. Blitz and I will be on a sky wheel together. Oh, can you imagine knocking down those things with some wheelies? You know I would. You know I'd destroy those things in some wheelies. I'm so glad that they've got plants hanging out there for us in wheelies and segways. Oh, look, it's the beach. Does anyone notice the giant bull on top? Oh, it's Kujata! They've got Kujata on top of the hotel. They've got Kujata in Costa del Sol. You guys, this is incredible. It's Kujata in Costa del Sol. Do you think that's the origin? Do you think that's the origin? Freaking Kujata on top of that hotel. Shut up. Today I learned. Today I learned. Okay, and so there it is. Where even is? There's Playa de Casares. I don't even see Costa del Sol around here. This is so crazy. Rebirth looks so realistic. Oh my god, yeah, look at that. Look how real. That's the Chocobo farm, you guys. Costa del Sol going crazy. What? There's those boats again. Oh, look, there's Aerith. Yep. This is so crazy, you guys. It's gonna be us. What? Why are you here? Who are you? Tifa? What is happening? Oh, we can play golf. Tifa! Tifa! Okay. Oh, look at that. I know that's totally enhanced. But that's so pretty. What's up, Kuya? Oh my gosh, look at that. This is where we can have a sunset kind of like whimsical staring down the ocean after we fight Hojo. Oh, look at all those trees I can knock down with wheelies. Oh, look, there's food. I mean, of course there's food, but look at that. Golden Key, is that what you're talking about, Jedi? Oh, there's horses. Ooh, and caves? Like the Mithril Mines? Well, now I just want to go to Spain, you guys. Look how real. Oh, you mean Altisha? Okay. May your heart be your golden key. Ooh, that's pretty too. You guys, okay, so today I learned there's a real life Costa del Sol. Okay, well, there you go. That's amazing. Yeah, I guess you can count that as being lost. You guys, it's a good day. It's a really, really good day, and I'm happy to be here with you, and we're going to have a great time tonight because it is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Pro Day, and we got it in the bag. We got it transferred. Let's just enjoy it. We're going to do Cosmo Canyon tonight. I got the hat and all that kind of stuff, and we're going to talk about some amazing stuff. We're going to talk about the danger of Dogma as we get in with like Bugenhagen and all that kind of stuff. We're going to get some really, really good stuff. But first, we got to show off the power of the PS5 Pro, baby. Right? We gotta show off the power. So without further ado, let's go to Calm. Shall we? Okay. Wrong controller. I have too many controllers. Okay. Look at the silky smoothness of this. I don't know if y'all can see it quite as silky smooth as I can, but let me tell you, like, I don't know if my capture card can really capture the greatness of this thing. There's that guy. Let's go over to the old, to the Grasslands. Let's go to the old Chocobo farm. Or let's go to Oliver's farm. That's fine. Yeah. Oh, I do need to look at this. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, so here we are. Look how silky smooth this is. Do you see how silky smooth that is? That is just 60 frames per second, baby. 60 frames per second. This looks... Look at it in battle. This is like... I played around with it a little bit earlier. Like, it really just looks really smooth.
So it's my
I'm
turn?
gonna die because I'm looking at everything.
Sorry about that.
Okay, let's kill some wolves. Yeah, it looks really good on my end, you guys. Like, I don't know if Twitch and YouTube are doing it justice. But I can tell you right now, it looks great on my end. It's very detailed, very detailed. Let's go ahead and heal ourselves. Still does look much sharper and smoother, yeah. I'm telling you guys, it looks very detailed. The amount of detail in the textures and the grass, the individual blades of grass, it just looks very crisp. Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, I had to pay extra for a disk drive. Yeah, that was part of the thing, you know? But yeah, it does just look really good. Okay. Yeah, the side-by-side comparisons are really, really good. Money, Jedi, money. And I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, like, why doesn't a disk drive come standard? My bet is that we are moving to a digital future. We are starting to phase out physical media. That would be my thing, but also, they're making some money. They got mine. Okay, so here we are. It is gorgeous, right? Absolutely gorgeous. I do think it would be fun for us to kind of look at maybe Gongaga. I'd like to look at some Gongaga real fast. So let's go to a chapter. I think this is probably the one that we should do. We're just going to look at Gongaga real fast. I'm not really interested in any story stuff. So, thank you. Yeah, I'll just get past all that. I just want to look at Gongaga because that is one of those, like, spaces that is stunning, right? Which one of these? I think... There it is. Me? Gongaga. Yeah, you just want to see this beauty over here of the Gongagan sites. Oops. Come on back down. Let's go to the heart of the jungle over here. Like maybe the Fungi Forest Tower. Let's go right here. This will be good. This is the PS5 Pro. We want to see... Look at me fast travel. It is for the graphics, right? So let's look and see how Gongaga looks. Okay, okay. Very vibrant, very colorful here. And very smooth. Look at all that foliage down there. So I don't know if it's really translating well to the capture card, but it is gorgeous. I'll try to post some videos and stuff. Oh yeah, look at this. Right over here. I am loving... Oh man, yeah. You can really see just kind of how much more lush it is, I think. I hope that's coming through over there. Yeah, this is so lush. Yeah, it's much smoother, Jedi. Much smoother. You can really see it. The shadows, everything is just a lot crisper, a lot more. Yeah, I'm impressed. I love it. Big fan so far. Big fan. Yeah, that's very pretty. Oh yeah, this is pretty. Can I check the Nibel mountain texture load in Nibelheim? I think it would take a minute for us to go there, but maybe. Let's see. Not there. Can I fast travel anywhere? I don't think I can. Yes, I can. Let's go over to Nibelheim real quick. And then we're going to start proper and go over to... Shinra Manor. Mount Nibel. Let's go there. Yeah, oh, we're going to Cosmo Canyon next. Don't you worry. I don't know if we can climb back up there, but we're going to try it just to see a few things. I mean, I can tell you right now, it's already looking... It's looking real nice. Real nice. Can we pull out our chocobos? I mean, it's looking pretty good. I really don't want to fight these guys. I don't need to. Oh, pretty in the cave. I just kind of want to see the mountain. Yeah, this is good. Oh, this is all... Look at these particles. This is so pretty. Whatever this materia is, I'll go ahead and pick it up. Oh, no I won't. Okay. Round 3. There we go. Orb of healing. Those crystals are still gorgeous, right? I mean, that's... What a shot! What a shot, you guys! Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. It does look nice. Cloud looks completely uninterested now. Not interested. He's drunk on Mako. Look at these two. Let's just keep Cloud out of this picture. That's pretty. Gotta load up on photos. Elevator shadows. Oh, Cloud's curious. Okay, I have played this game before. Why am I amazed? Oh, it's so pretty, you guys. So, here's what I will say. I've only spent a little bit of time on this because, like, I loaded up everything trying to get it ready for stream. What I will say is that the PS5 Pro shines in battle for Rebirth. Like, it is just flawless. I feel like I can see very clearly what's going on. And I'll show you a little bit. Like, it is just very crisp, very clear. I feel like I'm very much in control. Oh yeah, I've got to get you a photo mode counter. Oopsies. Yeah, Jeffrey and we got to get a time together. So, okay, the reason why we're in Nibel was, what's the texture loading and pop-in sort of thing. And I'm not seeing any issue loading these mountain textures. None whatsoever here. I don't know if that's coming through on your end, but it looks very crisp, very clean on my end. Really good stuff. Oh my gosh, you guys. Yeah, it just looks really, really crisp. Yeah. Okay, so that's our little tech demo of Rebirth. Now it's time to actually go in. So, let's do this. What have you missed? Your 3-year-old's having a tantrum over a toothbrush? Honestly, relatable, you know? Relatable. Big feelings. Big feelings over brushing our teeth. Some mornings I just don't want to do it, you know? Some mornings I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. So, here is the thing. Tonight, we are going to be going over to Cosmo Canyon. This is going to be great. I'm excited about tonight's stream. We were supposed to do it like a week ago or a week and a half ago, but my house decided to rebel against us. Comcast has conspired against us. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong, but we're back tonight, baby. So we're going straight to Cosmo Canyon. Tonight, we're going to go to the birthplace, the home of planetology. We're going to learn a little bit about what it means to believe in planetology, but then also we're going to talk about belief systems in general. And I'm really excited about this one. This goes into some of the classes that I teach at the University of Alabama. So get excited for that one. Without further ado, why don't we go ahead and get over to Cosmo Canyon. We are going to restart the entire chapter just because it was so glitchy last time. Okay, so we're going to try to do it in its entirety tonight. Hopefully, knock on wood, no issues. So, are we ready, chat? Are we ready, class? Are we ready to get started? So we got some good stuff tonight, baby. Also, chat, when I was loading this up, okay, time out. Before we go into this, I'm such an idiot. While I was loading up all of the stuff for Rebirth on the PS5 Pro, I made quite the discovery. It was a ridiculous discovery. Are you ready for this? I realized, my friends, that I have played 250 hours without any of the pre-order DLC bonuses. I have never summoned the Moogle Trio materia, the Magic Pot materia, or used the Orchid Bracelet, the Reclaimant Choker. I had Leviathan, Ramu, and the Kupo Charm and Survival set, but I never unlocked the Moogle Trio and Magic Pot and the bracelets. So tonight, in honor of that, that's because I'm a real gamer. Take that, Blitz. Yeah, that's right. I beat the grass without the Moogle Trio. So anyway, tonight we're obviously going to equip our boy Cloud with the Moogle Trio. I cannot freaking believe it. And we're going to equip Aerith with the Magic Pot. I don't know what these do, chat. We're going to see. We're going to see that. I'm looking grizzly tonight. Grizzly! Like they say in Visions of Mana. Check out my review. Yeah, it's No Shave November, so you got to teach the students who can grow the best beard, so that's how we do. That's how we do. So anyway, we're gonna play around with some of that tonight. Give me one quick second. I see that my alert box settings are off as usual, so we gotta fix that. I just cannot believe, I cannot fathom that I played 250 hours of this game and I never realized that I hadn't unlocked it. Right? Silly, silly me. Okay, let's put youths on the team again, and now we're good to go. Oh, I did get the Gilgamesh materia, yeah. Yeah, I literally did everything you can do in the game on a normal playthrough, and I never unlocked those things. Okay, so off to Cosmo Canyon for Watcher of the Veil. Let's go. He did have to wait all day for his PS5 Pro.
Okay, folks, we're here.
Look at Sid Pro. Ah, thank you, Kuya. I just see your resub. Appreciate you.
Brought you as far as I could. Hope y'all don't mind walking, because now you're on your own.
What about the next
I
time
feel
we
like
need
with
a
this
lift?
stubble, I could be like Sid.
Send up a signal. Just make sure I got room to land. Happy trails to you.
What a guy, that Sid Highwind. Because of the accent? See, I think that Sid would probably be from a place like Oklahoma. Though I really think he'd be a good old Bama boy. Is the background music too high for you guys? I can lower it. Alright, let's follow Red. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at the nooks and the crannies of the Cosmo Canyon. This is beautiful. Those arches. Come on, everybody. Red, you coming? Red? Oh, look at him. He was looking at that sign. Oh, he was homesick. Let's kill these penguins. I do whistle a lot. I don't know. I've always been a whistler. Oh God, it's just so pretty. It's just so pretty. It's just so pretty. How is my favorite game of all time suddenly my more favorite game of all time? It's my favorite with a new coat of lipstick. What are they weak to? Of course it's ice. Get up, youths. Youths, get up.
Keep it together. I'm coming.
Ow, jerk. Blizzard. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. Oh my gosh, you can get him. Look how smooth this is. God, it's so good.
This one's for you.
Aerith, we need another blizzard. Oh, so good. Oh my gosh. Oh my lord, look at it. I even feel like the distance is a little bit clearer. I think it's just really... It's nice. It's nice, you guys. And also just a good vibe. I don't know. Now, one thing that you may not know about this is that I will show you this as well because I thought this was kind of interesting. If you go to options and you go to graphics, there are 4 different sort of settings. You can do graphics, performance sharp, performance smooth, but we are on versatility mode. This is going to give you maintaining 60 frames per second while displaying graphics at a 4K resolution. And I have found it is the best way, the best thing. I didn't realize how much of a difference the 60 FPS would be, but it really does make a difference. In battle, it's just really, really pretty. Let's see if we can... Ooh, look at that. Oh my gosh, look at that photo. Also, it looks like Cloud's just like dunking his face into the... That's a good hit. I like that everybody's casual. Like, Aerith is just so unimpressed and Cloud's giving it his all. Okay.
Moving on then.
In Yuffie's feet. It's pretty, right? Yeah, good thing it's got so much more memory because I need it for all the pictures I'm going to be taking. Yeah, this game just looks... It feels even more polished than it already was. You can just notice a lot more. It's good. Hey, what's up? Looking at the yellow flowers in the grasslands for real.
So it's my turn? Get ready. That'll do.
Oh, don't kill Yuffie.
Sorry, but I gotta.
Aerith.
Someone looks kinda shaky.
Get him.
Gotta go for it now. You got this. Come on.
Let's do this.
Yeah. That is very pretty. PS5 Pro professional Dogma stream. Hope this is part 3. Is the same sort of world design. The devs will be able to optimize the base. Yeah. I'm hoping so too. Yeah.
Hey, so I've been meaning to ask you you something. You see the old Sephiroth's come back from the dead, right? So, what I want to know is, how do you do it? And what's he after?
He wants to save the planet.
Wouldn't that make him a good guy?
It's not what he's doing, but how. He doesn't give a shit if everyone dies in the process.
Hmm.
Total nutter. I mean, there's not much point in having a planet if there's no one left to enjoy it, is there?
That said, let's not forget we still got a whole nother problem. One that's reared its ugly head time and time again. Bunch of assholes who won't stop till they've bled the planet dry. Sin.
Sorry, I'm looking down into the canyon.
We'll need to leverage those connections.
Hang on, I want to look. I wish I could like look over that better.
I'm stabbing us in the back. I'm gonna hug and squeeze you to death.
Why don't you leave
Man, it's so pretty.
Here it comes! This one's
Okay.
for you!
Oh, it's over for this guy. Maybe it's over for me.
Taking over. It's on you. Just like that.
Oh no, it's over for them. Don't stare into the abyss, but it's so pretty. It's such a pretty abyss. Oh my gosh, that's it. Look at this. Look at this area. What an epic shot of Yuffie. And Aerith. Even his face looks better, you guys. Like, that's really, really... That's nice. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just like noticing details even more. But even the bolts in his shoulder and the scratches on that pauldron, they look more. And I'm able to see more crisp. I'm seeing more of a crispness to. Oh god, this is gonna get weird for a second, you guys. Maybe I've just never noticed this before. But the way that his sweater woven turtleneck is like cupping his chest. I don't think I've ever noticed that before, but maybe, you know, I'm just noticing it now. This looks a lot more focused. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? He doesn't even have big pecs. He skips chest day. That's been there? Okay, I didn't know. I'm just noticing everything. That's funny. PS5 Pro. That's right, baby. Well, let's look at enemy designs while we're at it, shall we? Okay. I think this game just looked great anyway. But yeah, it looks really good. Let's look at these guys. Oh, look at him. Look at those purple eyes there. Can we look at Tifa next for the definition? I don't want to be a weirdo, you know? Like, I don't want to like look at... I don't want to be one of those streams, you know? This guy's... Even the enemy nearby red circle looks bad. Yeah, it does, right? Yeah, like I said, everything is just a little bit crisper. Those tongues. Oh, man. Oh, that is so pretty. Just wait till we see Magic Pot and Moogle Trio.
I'll show you what I can do.
Oh my gosh. I think part of it is just that everything looks so much more vibrant. I mean, look at the draw distance back there. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that was always there or what, but like I'm just noticing it a lot more. The clarity is just really good.
Gotta dig deep for this new safe.
Aerith, you good? Okay.
Behold Cosmo Canyon, a sacred sanctuary where the planet's greatest minds gather.
It's beautiful. More than I ever imagined. Come on, let's pick up the pace. I can hear it calling my name.
Yeah, me too.
Good deal. Let's do it. So everybody, we are kind of going back to the original stream we were going to have before the power died on me last time. So this is the first of multiple Cosmo Canyon streams. I think that the electricity was conspiring against me just so that I could play this chapter with the Pro. Oh man, let's do it. Divine intervention, indeed.
Hey, guys! It's me! I'm back! Nanaki? I can't believe it. It really is you. We were so worried. Welcome home.
Whoa.
Wow.
Now, why don't you go pay your respects to fellow Bugenhagen? Come on.
You look so 4K.
You can let them through. They're good people. I promise. After all, they're the reason I'm here.
What in the hell was that? Hey guys, it's me. Who?
He's such a softie.
Real quick, gotta check something.
I don't know if we do, Goddess.
An airship dropped these on us this morning. Wanted posters of the terrorists who bombed those reactors. But I think we can say you had nothing to do with all that. Even if Nanaki hadn't vouched for you, it's obvious.
Such softies.
Welcome to the sanctum of planetology, Cosmo Canyon.
Ooh, that's good. Ooh, that's good.
Welcome to Cosmo Canyon. Please, head inside.
I will. Oops.
Thanks for keeping watch over the veil.
So chat, here we are welcoming you to the home of planetology, Cosmo Canyon, where some of the biggest lore stuff in the entire game exists.
It's output pales in comparison to that of a
And we are going to look at absolutely everything. Look at these lovely materials over here.
It allows us to build grain.
I will tell you that I have looked at a lot of the different things in Calm, some of the books, and you can make out some of the stuff, but not all of the stuff. Like here, this is just intentional scribble sort of stuff. Oh, that music. So yeah, I mean, it looks like they're just kind of working on parchment, but you can see back there, learn from the pros, giddy up riding lessons, beginners welcome. Look at that zoom. This is Cosmo Canyon, all right. Oh, look at that though. Look, oh, Cloud, you're totally in the way, bruh. Oh, look at that. Look at the whole canyon down there. Oh man, that's good looking. Oh, that's lovely. That's nice. That's good. Let's take a picture of that. That'll be a good thumbnail background at some point. That's pretty. Oh, okay. Bear, just knock it on out of there. We have some constellation stuff on this guy. Good. Oh, yeah, you know I am, Knight. You know I am.
You see that wanted poster? Pictures look nothing like us.
Must be that way for a reason.
Gotta keep on researching.
All right, so we're going to listen to some of these NPCs in here. Because it is the home of planetology, so they're going to lead our lectures tonight.
Your spirit is to nurture the spirit of the planet. And so, I implore you, brothers and sisters, do not neglect your studies, nor your prayers. Through your diligence, you will find true fulfillment.
What's up, game discussion? Yeah, it's a great track.
We must live in harmony with our Great Mother, for the planet is an extension of us, and we of it. As such, the life with which she has blessed us is a gift that must one day be returned. To nurture your spirit,
This is
to
good.
nurture the spirit of the planet. And so, I implore you, brothers and sisters, do not neglect your studies, nor your prayers.
Now, this is an interesting idea, an interesting concept, chat. So let's talk about it for a moment. So he just said that life is a gift from the planet that must one day be returned, and this goes into a really interesting religious concept that exists in a lot of different philosophies. It's in Christianity to a degree. It's in Judaism. It is in Hinduism for sure. But it is the idea that life is a trust. It's not a permanent gift, but it is a temporary trust in which we are loaned and then we return it, right? And so the question is, what do you do with that life that has been entrusted to you? And I love that Cosmo Canyon, the home of planetology, has picked up on this. It's like we have been entrusted with this life, and one day we will be going back. We will be giving this gift back. It's a gift of the planet that we have to return one day. And the subtle question that's asked is, what do you do with the time that's given to you? It's really good stuff, good inspiration stuff that's rooted and founded in real world religions. Let's keep going. Mini lecture. He does sound like Gina talk.
Thank you so much. Mom, look, I got some candy. Oh, that's very kind. Thank you. Remember to say a prayer before you eat it. I know. Oh, great Mother Planet, thank you for this blessing. That's my good little boy.
Okay, so that's some interesting commercialization, commodification, a little bit of religious ritual, right? It's like, oh, look, Mom, I got some candy. It's like, well, remember to say a prayer to the planet for it. So, oh, great planet, thank you for the blessing. And it's like, it gives the same energy as suburban mom thanking God and praising God for a blessing of a parking spot. It kind of gives that, right? And so it's like, is it real? Is it genuine? Yeah, it is. But it's like, who's traveling all the way to Cosmo Canyon for candy, right? Like it's kind of that. So it's that vibe of there's something for everybody here in Cosmo Canyon, you know? Like those that are kind of surface level and those that are going deep. And that's the truth when it comes to world religions as well, you know? Hey, listen, I absolutely get that, Lady of the Rings. You like my face describing this? It's genuine, it is. But it's also like the God of the cosmos answered your prayer for a parking spot and didn't answer the prayer for like things that really mattered in my life. This is the struggle that a lot of my students have. It's like the God of the universe that flung the stars into being is interested in giving you parking lot spots, and it's like, yes, and that's the intimacy of God. And yet also it's like, oh, What are the other things? So there's a little, I like the subtle nod to that kind of thing. But here's the thing that I try to remind my students of in our classes, is that there's all kinds of on-ramps and there's all kinds of theology for this sort of thing. And you've got, and this is so true, like it's like when I go over to, let's zoom in, baby. It's kind of like the first time that I went over to Europe and I went over to Israel. And I was able to explore these beautiful cathedrals and these shrines and all that kind of stuff. And like I'm going on this like deep pilgrimage where I'm going to pray in these temples and shrines and all of this kind of stuff, these cathedrals. And then there's like a gift shop at the, there's a gift shop and it's like, oh, okay, like, is that what this is too? But it's like both and. That was probably the most shocking thing for me when I went to visiting some of these places across Europe, across Israel, even when I was in Asia and was going to various parts of China, going and Indonesia, looking at a lot of these Hindu temples. I was always a little bit surprised at some of the commercialization, commodification of some religious things. Now, the question is that right or wrong? I think there's a way of going about it that's right and sensitive, and then there's a way that it can become, Lady of the Rings right, a little disingenuous, right? But I get it. And so what I always tell my students is, just like in class and just like in anything, you get what you put into something. So if you're going into a place with your whole heart and a hunger and a thirst for knowledge, then you're going to receive something beautiful. But if you go in for the commercialization, the commodification, then all you get out of it is a cool keychain and a t-shirt. So what I always encourage people is, hey, take your trinket, right? Do those kind of things. But it's more about what's going on in here, you know? It's more about what it is, a framing of your mindset and your life. So just a small little lesson. Commercialization in and of itself does make things more accessible in a lot of ways. But what do you do with that? Can you go to a deeper level? If you're taking the depth of the mystery of the divine or ideology or any of that, and you're making it shallow and that's as far as you go, well, I think you're doing a disservice to the tradition. But if you take the tradition and you don't make it accessible to people, then you're irrelevant. So you kind of need this both and. I think that's why Cosmo Canyon doesn't super bother me, but it does strike me as like, oh, that's an interesting choice. That's an interesting piece of it. But that's exactly what it would be like in the real world too, right? So anyway, they're just 2 cents on that one. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but it is something that we should notice. All right, let's continue with the Cosmo Canyon. Thank you for the candy.
All of the items we offer are handcrafted by the Vale's most skilled artisans.
Yeah, Shiny, yeah, I think that's it. Like, don't... Like, you can certainly enjoy some of the lightheartedness of it, but get to the root of it. Have I ever seen Righteous Gemstones? Absolutely. I really enjoy that show. Because it's such a great religious satire and critique. Critique is the right word for that. It's just a really nice thing.
Travelers are one of the many blessings that are granted to us by the planet.
And so this is, gosh, that's a great NPC too. The people of Cosmo Canyon are saying the travelers that come through here are yet another blessing that the planet has given us. And so, yeah, I mean, it's like, can we share our message in a way that parents would want to bring their kids here? And can it be a respectful? Anyway, there's a lot to discuss here. I think it's cool.
Heading out somewhere? Yes, actually. Wanted to make an offering to... Hey,
This is absolutely why we're spending 3 streams on this place.
his back was hurting a lot. Well, then you ought to calm down and get a massage. Oh, you know what? My dad said he was gonna go deliver fellow Bugenhagen some food. Maybe
Jedi, that's such a great point, right? And I've been to so many different places where that church members sometimes call it worship wars, right? Are we throwing away tradition or all that kind of stuff? But the question is, has it become shallow or has it become accessible? And I think that when we make things accessible, that's awesome. I appreciate any religious tradition that's making themselves more accessible to newcomers and interested groups. But if you are dumbing it down in a way that doesn't give credence to the depth, I think that's really good. Is it shallow or is it accessible? Yeah. Ah, man. What? That's good. I'm going to write that down. I coach a lot of religious groups, and I think that that's a good one.
Come on, planet, grant me good fortune.
All right, so let's go into the Sildra Inn. Sildra, everybody. Final Fantasy V. Also mythology, but Final Fantasy V, baby. So there's some great NPCs in this area. We've got some nice travelers.
I can't believe you got a reservation.
Of course. Today's our anniversary, my love.
How cool would it be to go to Cosmo Canyon on your anniversary? I guess it's like going to Sedona, but maybe a little bit more, like, spiritual. I don't know. Oh, we've got great NPCs down here. Let's go ahead and go to them. Since we've already heard them.
These gatherers who visit the Vale are students of planetology in name only. Very shallow people, tourists.
Well, some of them may have a genuine interest. Who can say for certain? They may even come to embrace the teachings.
Doubtful. True planetological enlightenment shall forever elude their grasp. They cling to muggle, and that is an addiction not easily shaken.
Hear this? So this is exactly what we're talking about. It's that question of, is it too deep for these people, or is it like, are they here for the right reasons? And boy, isn't that such a statement about a lot of groups? And this isn't exclusive to religious. I mean, let's talk about it, everybody. He's saying none of these people that are coming here, these tourists, can really appreciate what we appreciate. They can never understand the depths of planetology, and we certainly, Lady of the Rings, yes, it's gatekeeping, and every tribe, every ideologue has some level of gatekeepiness to it, right? They'll never understand the true depths if they're just here for tourism. For crying out loud, this is the Final Fantasy fandom in a lot of ways. It's like they don't really understand the fandom like I do, and you hear everybody. Like, I've been a fan since 1997, Final Fantasy VII fan since 1997, and these newcomers could never understand it. I hear it because I'm a 1997 fan of Final Fantasy VII, but I've got a legion of students who are experiencing 7 for the first time through the remake, and the gatekeeping involved is out of control all the time. So this is such a great moment of like, this is our Cosmo Canyon. They could never understand it the way that we understand it. That's fandom, though. You get it in Star Wars. You get it in pretty much anything. Shoot, Taylor Swift fans. It's like, we've been here since Romeo and Juliet. Who do you think you are over here? Reputation era. It's every fandom. It's Zelda, right? NES 2D Zelda is the way to go. And it's like, no, I'm Breath of the Wild Zelda. It's like, well, I'm Ocarina of Time. I'm Majora's Mask Zelda. And it's like, good grief. This is so similar to, I'm reminded of something that comes from the Christian scriptures in the New Testament book, 1 Corinthians. where Paul is writing to the very divided Corinthians, and he says, I've heard that you are just really into divisions, because some of you say, well, I belong to Paul's camp, and I belong to Peter's camp, and I belong to a guy named Apollos' camp, and these are all teachers. And then I've even heard some of you are like, well, I belong to Jesus. Right? I remember I had a professor one time, and he was like, you know how it is. It's like some of you are really into this professor over here, and some of you are into this professor over here, and this is all religious studies. So it's like, oh, you like Dr. Brasher over here, some of you like Dr. Wells, some of you like the bishop, and others of you, you're just like, well, I'm just going to follow Jesus. And it's like all gatekeeping, because if you don't align with the way that I align, then you don't. Cosmo Canyon has so many great lessons like that, right? And I love that it does that. I love that it's a perfect place to kind of poke at some of these things, and we're certainly going to get it with some Bugenhagen stuff here in a little bit. Yeah. So, you keep on going into this cavern, and you meet the Advent Children Chorus. Oh. So this song plays at the beginning of the movie Advent Children. Beautiful song.
If you're wondering where the name Sildren comes from, it's a legendary dragon featured in local tales.
It's good. Promised Land, yeah, it's a beautiful choir.
Comes from, it's a legendary dragon featured in local tales.
Yeah, when I first heard this in Cosmo Canyon, I was blown away, because I was like, they're perfectly linking this up to Advent Children. Like the seeds are planted all the way through. By the way, sequel confirmed. Okay. It's just perfectly linking it up, right? I love it. It's beautiful. Hymn of the Faith vibes. Yeah, that does. Yeah. And here's the open air bed for everybody to be a part of. Is there a door here? Maybe they have a curtain or something. Otherwise, you just watch this guy just sleep in here. Here you've got the great furnace, the candle, Cosmo candle there. Just really neat. The etchings on the wall. And once again, you kind of also have some live stream stuff on the walls. Just very, very nice. Yeah, I wouldn't say that that's proof that it's a sequel.
Think of it. This is the first time we've taken a trip together. You're right.
So, let's walk in here, check out these people, take their goods. 2 rooms, no privacy. This family doesn't want to talk to us. A couple of other NPCs, then we'll keep going. Nah, no piano tonight. Hey, these are some great NPCs right here.
I mean, you were your star pianist before we...
I told you the person I got to sub for me would manage, didn't I? More importantly, we need to commit to a house. Now, I thought the property we saw the other day was to die for.
It was, but don't you think it might be a little big for the 2 of us?
Well, it does need to have room for my piano. And who knows? Our family might end up growing someday. There's more than one way to nurture life after all. Isn't that what we learned in our time?
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Here's what I love about this, you guys. This is a great, interesting conversation, and I love that this particular conversation is right here in the middle of this kind of seat of planetology, this seat of kind of the religious world. And so you get this couple, the same-sex couple, that are trying to build a life together, and they're talking about what they've learned from planetology. And they're like, there's more than one way to build a life together. There's more than one way to have a life together. Another interesting note about this particular couple is that one is the pianist from Costa del Sol that Tifa has to play for because he skipped town for love. I think it's a really interesting thing to include there. I absolutely love that. I do think it is just a beautiful sort of statement for them to be here in Cosmo Canyon. You've got a lot of disagreement in Cosmo Canyon, and I would dare say that their presence here is just adding to that diversity, where it doesn't matter. Like, there's some people that may not like them as tourists or for other reasons, but at the same time, do I think of planetology as a religion or a science? So, I think it is pseudo both. I do think that it is a science, but I think that it is a very natural science that informs a meaning-making mechanism, right? So, I would say that it's more of a religion or ideology than a lot of things, right? But I would say that most worldviews and religious viewpoints have an element of both mythology and an element of science and explanation of the world around them. I mean, you look at Babylonian texts. Let's go into it. You look at Babylonian texts that inform like the flood narrative and the creation narratives of Genesis 1 and 2, and these are not only meaning making, but they are explanations, right? One of the ways that I describe, especially the archetypal stories of Genesis 1 through 11 to my classes, is these stories originated largely in the ancient Near East, particularly in Babylon. And when the Jews, the Hebrews, were exiled in Babylon, they're living there for 70 some odd years, and their kids are growing up in these areas. They're growing up in the Babylonian system, right? And they're exposed to Babylonian teachings. This is what it says in the book of Daniel, chapter 1, that they're going to take the best and the brightest. They're going to train them for 3 years, some of the older men, or young men of age. They're going to teach them in the sciences and the literature. And so one of the things that the Israelites or the Jews had to do while in Babylon was to say, okay, like, this is what the standard of the world is. They're speaking of Tiamat and Marduk and texts like the Enuma Elish and the Gilgamesh Utnapishtim narratives. But how does our God frame into that? And that's why you see this overlap, but with a Jewish interesting bent. So they're taking some of these stories and they're inserting some of their deep-rooted theology of Yahweh, Elohim, Adonai, into these stories. It's really interesting if you look at Genesis chapter 1 and 2 for that matter, and you read them side by side with some of these ancient Babylonian pieces. You can see the text from the ancient Near East and the way that the story is retold and reframed in a way that highlights their belief system. This is what I really like about it, because it's like, if this is the way that the world was made, what does this also say about our God and what we believe? When I teach creation narratives at the University of Alabama, one of the things that I always say is Genesis 1 and 2 is not so much trying to explain how the world was created, but why. It's not what God did, but why God did it, and with what heart God did it. It speaks more to the identity and personhood, the nature of the heart of God, than the specific day by day, era by era flow of God. And what that does in terms, back when I was growing up, there's a really big stress over things like evolution versus creation narratives. One of the things that I appreciate about my upbringing and about my my studies has been like, okay, if that is the world that we're living in now, just ask the question, what if? What would that say about God? And you're beginning to get into the heart of some of that early writing sort of stuff. Now, that's a class in and of itself that I could probably do for about 18 weeks with you. And I think that I gave you about 10 minutes right there. So that's something that we could talk a lot more about. But what I simply say to my students is this: truth is greater than fact. And so the fact of things may not always line up, but what's the truth behind the stories? So there's that. Anyway, thank you for the question, Smith. Do I think of planetology as a religion or a science? The short answer is, I think it's a way of making meaning of the world rooted in the ways that they understand the world around them. And that's exactly what we try to do too. We see the ways that the world works around us, and we try to make meaning of it. What do I use to edit my videos? Segue. I use Premiere Pro. I tend to see myth as lying between religion and science, partially because it's more adaptable than both. Yeah. How adaptable do I think FF7 planetology is from the outside looking in? What do you mean adaptable? What do you mean by adaptable? I want to make sure that I'm understanding what you're saying. It's adaptable to either one, do you mean? Yeah. I got another lecture on this. I got another lecture on this. We'll come back to this. I promise you. Let's keep playing for now. I don't want to take up more time, so let's go. I'll come back to it before the end of tonight's stream, though. It is divine, isn't it? Well said. It is divine. Oh, and here we've got the candle, the flame.
The torch of Cosmo Canyon was first lit long ago when the veil itself was born. Its flames ever burned.
I wonder too, Barrett.
To the rainiest of days, nor when the wind blows fierce and relentless. This balefire is the very life of the planet itself. To stand vigil as one of its guardians is a secret duty that I have.
Let us gaze upon the bonfire. The souls that have returned whence they came merge with the glorious star.
Drum, I have not played on the old performance modes. I've only played so far on versatility. I played a little bit of graphics, but I really like versatility.
One night, receive the blessings of the planet. This concludes our tour.
Concludes our tour.
To see the ceremony one last time.
Oh.
hearken to the wisdom of the planet.
I love these little lectures we get all around here.
And we may share in it freely if we open ourselves to her.
Where's my
It is
team
found
going?
in the soil beneath our feet, the trees from which it sprouts.
This is the pro.
Which nestle in
Oh,
their
Tifa.
valleys.
Tifa is making a beeline for the torch.
It returns to the wellspring of all truths. That is the beating heart of our mother.
You're more than welcome to come watch the river of lights.
planet guide us all.
Guide us all.
O great mother, from whom all blessings flow, we beseech you, cast your light in the dark and lead your children. Tonight, they return home from their long journey. Welcome them, O mother, with love and grace.
May the planet guide us all.
May the planet guide us
See, I just love this imagery. They're preparing for this ceremony, this service. I just love it.
Be sure not to wander too close to the bonfire.
Great. They are trying to out-lecture me. I've already done like 4 lectures tonight. Mini lectures, but still. I've got a good one I'm about to drop on y'all in a little bit.
Let us gaze upon the bonfire.
Tifa was really affected by it. The souls that have returned whence they came merge with the glorious star that burns bright within the heart of the planet.
The torch of Cosmo Canyon
Okay,
was
good.
first lit long ago.
May your heart be your guiding key.
Okay, now this is what I call being in the great outdoors.
I love that. I love the inclusion there. Everybody's like, may the planet embrace you. May the planet bless you. And she's like, I love being outside. This is so good. Oh my gosh.
Hey, is fellow Bugenhagen gonna come down?
All right, let's get to some of the big NPCs here.
Watch over. After receiving the gift of life, we must endure countless sorrows. Yet beyond the hardships,
Okay, listen to this. I mean, this guy's talking classic Buddhism here. This is good stuff. So, as we embrace the gift of life, we must endure countless sorrows. That's the first truth, noble truth of Buddhism.
happiness awaits. This is our golden age. Through the veil thus far has no doubt called to mind many emotions and experiences. Let us take a moment to reflect on them now. Through regular spiritual communion, we may all come to live more fulfilling lives.
And I love that. I love it so much. It's I love that piece that they just said. It's like being here in the canyon has probably conjured up a lot of emotions and memories. Let's take a moment to reflect on those things. I think that's really, really cool. All right, I love that because that's true in so many different traditions. It's this idea of, hey, pause, stop, reflect, process. Part of that eightfold path that we talked about in Gongaga is having right concentration. And I think that right concentration is the mode of Cosmo Canyon. It's people trying to concentrate and to think deeply and to commune with the planet in a very specific way. This is one of the good things about ritual, right? Whether it's Christian ritual, particularly Catholic ritual, I think that the ritualization of faith allows us to have these moments of deep contemplation and reflection where we're able to process the things in our lives. And that's one thing that I love about Cosmo Canyon. They're offering these rituals, these relics, and then even the ceremony and the candle ceremony, the lantern ceremony. It's all for the purpose of reflecting on that. So we'll experience that in just a little bit. Cool. Here we are, Magnata books. What would you say? Yeah, Jedi, great point. So, legalistic ritual, it kind of comes into play when a ritual becomes less about reflection and remembrance, and it's more about, if I do this, then I get a certain level of blessing or something like that. Or if I don't do this, ritual is important as a focus for a person, but it's not vital as a checklist sort of thing. In some traditions it is, I suppose, but what I've found to be the case is that ritual is at its best when it is embracing and focusing a person's psyche on that which is beyond. This is why prayers and liturgy are so important. It's things like in the Christian tradition, things like communion or the Eucharist, even baptism. These are These are things that are really important, right? I did say remembrance. Yeah, legalistic. It's the idea of almost like rule following. It's the idea of legalism is a little bit more about following a very set structure for the purpose of just doing right rather than a state of the heart. When something has ignited your emotions, captured your mind and your focus, you're able to give yourself over to it rather than, simply checking it off. For example, when I go to the gym, some days it is checking it off the list, and I may give myself half-heartedly, but at the end of the day, I checked it off. But the days that I really get into those sort of things, the day that I really have a good workout, perhaps, may begin as a checklist sort of thing, but I pull in, like it's a whole-bodied, whole-heart, whole-minded sort of thing. It's about deeper reflection and embracing that thing. So, do I want to talk about this? Do I want to talk about it? Chat, do you want me to talk about paganism for a second? I think this should be kind of interesting. You want me to talk about it? I don't have to. We can just get on with the game in this beautiful performance pro mode. Let's hear a little bit about it. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit of paganism. So how can I need a prop. Here's an idea. Okay, so this is the entire world, okay? This is a way of thinking about what we might call a bit more of a pagan practice. Imagine that this is all of the universe, all of the cosmos, okay? Hey! Thank you for a tier 1 sub. Appreciate you. Thank you for the gift sub. All of the cosmos exists on this yellow plane, okay? Meaning, everything that exists, it just exists all in here. In fact, in the beginning it was nothing, and then it was a lot of things, a lot of different alphas. Are you with me? You're gonna love this. This is insane. I think there's a filter on. Let me see if I can turn that off real quick. That's so funny. So, let's say, you exist here, but then, there's some materials over here, there's other things that live, the stars, other planets, you've got all kinds of things. Now, one way of understanding the cosmos is that on this plane, let's zoom in, on this plane, not only does everything in the cosmos exist, but the divine themselves exist as well. So if you believe in God, God also exists in this. Now, there is an idea that some rituals, by simply saying the right thing or including in this grand stew the right concoction of materials, the right words to speak, the right actions, you're able to manipulate the entire cosmos. And if you are able to manipulate these things and get your preferred outcome, there's this idea that you have, in some ways, done the ritual correctly. All right? So, if God is existent in this plane, then by manipulating all of the right things, and this could even be in something like something more akin to like voodoo, I guess. The rabbit's foot, the tail of the lizard, the eye of the that sort of thing that you see in like Halloween movies, right? You bring all of that together, and you get the thing that you wanted. Well, you did the ritual right. Well, if you didn't do the ritual right, what happens? Well, you did it wrong, right? And I wasn't able to manipulate things in order to do that. So, if you're able to do it right, then you're able to manipulate the divine for your preferred outcome. this is the key or the core heart of pagan practices. But for religions that are not akin to that, they believe that God exists beyond that plane, somewhere out here. Therefore, you can manipulate all you want, but you're unable to manipulate God, who is beyond the foundation, the cosmos, the creation, right? And so you may do things to focus and appeal to God, and God will answer, but you aren't manipulating the divine. Does that make sense? That's why, and I'm going to speak to those that come from a Christian or Jewish standpoint, that's why the legalism or the ritual isn't enough, because it can feel like you're trying to manipulate the heart of God when these things serve as a focus to appeal to the heart of God and have connection and intimacy with the heart of God. Yeah, Smith, is that right? In, say, the Catholic tradition particularly, where ritual is really, really important. Okay? But it's never about manipulating God. It's about focusing and becoming close to God. Right? And so anytime you're told this is something that you have to do, well, that's what legalism is. Instead of using something as a focus for understanding and sensing and experiencing the presence of God. Make sense? This is how I teach paganism in my classes. Maybe not with a chocobo pillow. Does that make sense, chat? This is hard stuff, and like typically I'm going to have a lot more to talk about with my classes in the discussion format. So, good. I hope that clarifies it. And if it doesn't, I don't know what else to do. So funny. Hey, thank you so much for subscribing, Persona. I'm so glad. I hope that it helps you appreciate not only world cultures, but also your own, right? Why am I holding the fucking pillow? I would never. Not on Sweet Alpha, the Chocobo. Yeah, even in non-Christian religions, it's a mixture of many ideas, right? Yeah. Good stuff. Okay, let's continue with the lecture play. Okay, we have been all over. Gosh, every level is another tier of things. Tiger Lily armaments. Love it. Oh, the precursor to the modern potion, you say?
The breeze. It's really nice. Deliciousness. Do anything you like.
Hey, thank you so much. Thanks, Jeffrey.
Blessings of the planet be upon your cooking with our one of a kind.
And that's so good. The blessings of the planet would be all over your cooking. Where is Lunch? I feel like Lunch would like that too. Yeah, maybe you can watch the VOD. Smith, you should suggest that to him. Oh, Red.
I was born and raised here, in this canyon. I was to become a watcher of the veil like those before me, until I was taken by Shinra. Now that I'm home, and have repaid my debt to you, I plan to serve my village once more. I appreciate all that you've done for me. Thank you.
We're really gonna miss you, Red.
Oh, don't say that. You're only making this harder. I mean, I wish we had more time, but this is my duty.
I suppose it was your duty to act the old man.
I wanted you to treat me as an equal, not a dog.
Is that you, my boy?
Coming!
The tongue hanging out. Such a good boy.
So, was that goodbye?
Nah, I'm sure we'll see him around the canyon. The real question is, why'd we come here?
Red with that voice change.
To
Let's
learn
talk about the voice
secrets of
change.
planetology. Come on.
Can't forget that materia.
As for me, that'll do. I'm gonna steal some shut-eye, if you don't mind.
And out.
Then we can see the sights.
All right, ladies. Double date. So, you mentioned the change of Red's voice here. And I think it's a really great thing. Let me tell you why. He says right there, I wanted you to treat me as an equal, not just a dog. And I think that when it comes to things and places like this, Cosmo Canyon, there is such a temptation to try to there's a fear of being rejected, of being a novice and stuff. This is what I say in a lot of my classes where we talk about these deep things of religious studies. You're inevitably going to get people in there that feel like they know that they're experts. They're trying to posture themselves as experts. Then you get people that may have been to like some kids program for a certain religion or something like that. And one of the things that we try to do is to say, hey, we're all going to be equals here. We're all going to speak out of our experience. What I always try to tell people, my students particularly, is you may not be an expert in all the things we're talking about, but you are an expert in your own experience and the way that you've made meaning of the world around you. And so we're going to listen with curiosity rather than with certainty about your particular story. And I think that kind of curiosity, trading that for certainty is so important in all of this. Now, the reason that I say that is because every one of us have this mentality of the things that I've experienced, the things that I've seen, because it's made meaning for me. That is the truth. That is the reality. When you go off to college, you're suddenly introduced to other people's experiences that create cognitive dissonance for you. You begin to hear stories from others that's like, okay, that doesn't align with my experience, or I've never thought of it that way. And sometimes we build up walls and we say, okay, like, I'm rejecting your experience and your thought, so I can preserve my own sort of thing. And this is kind of the tension that we run across in a lot of my classes. So I'm like, okay, we understand we're experts in our experience and we're explorers of others' experiences. Experts in our experience, explorers of other experiences. And that is the kind of vibe that I like to create here in the chat as well. We can each have expertise in some area as long as we're trying to explore areas that we're not experts in. Red here is afraid of the dogma of the expertise of all these others and that his lack thereof might be rejected. And so what does he do? He postures himself. And this is a defense mechanism that we all do in some ways. We try to convey ourselves as knowing more than we might. And so instead of asking questions, we speak with certainty or we posture ourselves. I think it's a subtle sort of nod, and it goes great with the Cosmo Canyon overall themes, right? So, there you go. Back to the game.
I've been studying planetology for years now, but there's always more for me to learn. Its depths are immeasurable.
Isn't that good?
Learn well the joys of giving. Generosity is a great virtue, one which the planet will reward in kind. We are not made lesser for it. Our world is sustained by an unending cycle. All that passes from us shall one day return. Those who sacrifice shall be made whole.
And I love that the lecturers here aren't dumbing it down. Like, there's a lot of commodification, a lot of commercialization, but they're trying to utilize that to teach deeper things. Again, it goes back to the conversation we had earlier of, is it shallow or is it accessible?
Soon I will return to your bosom.
An acceptance of death. Kate Sith sleeping. Those who sacrifice shall be made whole is interesting. That the planet honors generosity.
Look at these rock formations. The erosion process must have started.
Certainly some things about Aerith, right? What does it mean if your generosity is extended also to yourself? And that sacrifice is of yourself. Will she be made whole? Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with the take that Cosmo Canyon is a cult site. I don't think that at all. I think that it is a center for meaning making, and it's accessible to all. Some may have it right, some may not, but they're gathering around this idea of mystery and trying to make sense of existence. Good point, Barrett. Good.
Feel the energy all around you. It rides the winds across our planet, singing through the veil to fill our lungs, and by extension our very beings. As you will come to learn, the practice of mindful breathing can connect us with
Mindful breathing, chat. Again, that right concentration from the Eightfold Path that we talked about. So good.
We will now embark on our tour of the Veil, whereby you may all
There's so many great NPCs in this
spiritual energy.
area.
Our journey begins here, at the dawn of life. As newborn souls, freshly birthed by the planet, though the road ahead is unknown, we are not afraid, for we walk with the Great Mother at our side.
At our very core, we are connected to the planet in ways that defy description.
We will now embark on our tour.
The Tour of the Veil, remembrance of one's birth. Oh, that's the way we've come. Okay. Let's keep going.
The bonfire symbolizes the life of the planet, so it's fitting.
So many good things here. This is spiritual summer camp. Yeah, Shiny, I don't know. I think that it probably comes from a place of maybe not fully understanding or having a level of appreciation for places that this place harkened to. You know, I don't think it necessarily is an intentional disrespect, but I think that it probably is one that probably deserves further reflection. Hey, Care Bear, glad to have you here. Some Queen's Blood. We're not playing it tonight. Oh, look at that valley, though, in beautiful PS5 Pro mode. Okay. Let's keep going. Don't be stunned. Don't be stunned by these things. There goes red. It probably does, Shiny. I think that it's meant to be very inclusive of a lot of different traditions where you can kind of see parts of your own or parts of different ones.
Lift your gaze to the heavens. Watch as the clouds drift through the sky, going whichever way the wind takes them.
Humans are the same. The planet charts a course for us, and we need only walk it.
Quite right. All we need to do is follow its guidance. For one day it will surely lead us to the tranquility we seek. To pass through the veil and trace the whistling winds is to reflect on the journey of life and our eventual return.
To pass through the veil, the whistling winds is to think about our own sort of flow in life. I love that. That's good. Walk the path of discovery. So here we are in the Starlit Bar.
Yeah, down with Shinra. We'd be so much better off without them. You can't talk like that, at least not in public. What if people start thinking you're with Avalanche?
To the blessings of the planet. Cheers!
To the planet. Cheers. And this guy's like, I am so tired of lecturing all day. Relatable, bruh.
A lot of folks downplay the planet's peril, but if they saw the weapons up close like we did, they'd have no choice but to acknowledge how bad it really is. Folks around here, though, they get it. They want what's best for our planet. You can see it in their eyes. Wonder if it ain't too late to recruit them to Avalanche. Only wish we could have made it out here sooner.
If only, Barrett. If only.
We are siblings all, born of one mother, with boundless love for her children. She serves
river blood.
Hello, friend. Did he lose his wallet? Say it again, I missed it.
I should be a force for good. Help folks out. Spread positive vibes. That's how I'll protect the planet. Like yesterday, I helped this poor old woman carry her groceries. And today, I took out the trash at the bar. I've been floating through my life without any purpose, but I finally found it. Planetology has made me a better me.
I love the dawning, right? I love it. It seems so simple, but honestly, if more of us did more simple things, wouldn't that just be amazing, right? That guy has good vibes. Like I was telling students the other day, and like you understand, like this is never going to be a political stream, but obviously this has been something that's been big in the university and campus community. So we've been talking to a lot of students, and they're asking about votes and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things that I've tried to share with students lately is this. Hey, you were born for more than casting a vote every 4 or 2 years, for that matter. Instead, you were born to cast a vote every single day of your life with the actions and the words that you speak for the world that you want to enact. And so your vote matters every single day by the things that you do. Maybe it is carrying somebody's groceries or taking out the trash. You vote for the kind of world that you want. And so you don't have to rest on leaders and politicians. Do what you can to create the community in the world that you can. That's one of the things that we talked about this whole week in a lot of my classes and a lot of our coffee meetings, which I've had myriad. That's one thing that I'd love for all of us to do.
The seminar is in progress. Please be respectful.
Blessings of the planet upon you. Disciples of her teachings gather here to share their experiences. Through these seminars, we learn from one another and together enrich our lives. Participation in the seminars requires a special invitation from a mentor.
I love that sub.
I'm afraid you cannot join. Perhaps you might instead consider taking part in the River of Lights ceremony. I suspect you'd enjoy it.
Greg, I'll talk about that in chapter 14. Stay tuned. I'm not ready to talk about that yet, but chapter 14's coming.
Blessings of the planet upon you. Our planetology seminars are open to invitees only. Might I suggest observing the River of Light ceremony instead? You would be more than welcome to do so.
All right. Anybody else want to talk to me? Okay.
Seminar is in progress. Please be respectful.
I know. We are very respectful of everybody in the seminar. I just want to learn. I want to learn with everybody. I just want to talk to every NPC ever. We're learning so much tonight, chat. I could have guessed that Cosmo Canyon would be. Did you hear that, chat? Oh my God. How many of you have looked inward into the universe of the soul? Into the universe of the soul. Oh my gosh, I just knocked my hat completely off. Into the universe of the soul. Let's try to get him to say it again. Just as each of us is a part of the planet, so the planet is a part of us. Okay, did you hear that, chat? Put on our lens. This is one of those things to think about part 3's live stream sequence, going into Cloud's deep psyche. Are we in the live stream sequence, or are we in Cloud's psyche sequence? Okay, and the answer is, it's gonna be both. And this is why, right here. Because he says, within you is a whole universe. Into the universe of the soul. And so, if something is going on inside one's psyche, If something is going on inside one's psyche, and there is a sickness in one's psyche, a dissolution, then that is a microcosm of the disconnection and disintegration in the larger universe and cosmos in this framework, right? And so, delve deep into your own healing, and that own healing is a portion of the healing of the entire cosmos and world. That's one of the things that's kind of being espoused here in some of these lectures in Cosmo Canyon. I think it's a really good stuff. You sent this dialogue to Sleep Easy. No, this is great stuff. So one thing that didn't make sense to me in 1997, because I was a child, was we've always called it the live stream sequence, but why is the live stream sequence so focused on Cloud? How does Cloud's multiple psyche, you know, his id, ego, and superego, if you will, like, how is all of that just there in the live stream? And part of it is because there's a whole universe within one's own psyche, and there's something really unique that's a parallel, a mirroring between Cloud's inner turmoil and the planet's inner turmoil, and Tifa's pushing to reconcile and integrate Cloud's disparate identities. Aerith saying to Cloud, I'm trying to find you, right? And Aerith and Tifa even maybe working in concert to help Cloud find himself is a way of helping save the planet. And Aerith and Tifa are doing that on two fronts. I think it's really interesting stuff, you guys. What do I make of that? I don't know, but it's an interesting Cosmo Canyon observation. Yeah. It's also one of those things in a lot of religious traditions where we say, you know, this is for you Christians and even Jews, I suppose. When Jesus is asked, what's the greatest commandment? He says to love the Lord your God with all your heart, your mind, your soul, and your strength. And the second is like it, to love your neighbor as yourself. It's interesting that the first commandment in that is you need to do something to get your heart connected to the divine, to get yourself right. And the second thing is to make it good for other people as well, right? I think that that's a really great sort of sentiment here. Find wholeness and strength here so that you can share wholeness and strength there. That's a really great piece. This is why we practice mindfulness and devotion and reflection and go through ritual to focus ourselves so that we can then go into the world and do what is needed to be done, right? The first and greatest commandment, according to Jesus, for you Christians, is very much about you and your connection. And the second one is love others like you have loved yourself in your connection with God in the first connection. Does that make sense? It's like it is one and it is two. And so if you're starting with two and you're broken in number one, guess what? You haven't loved yourself. And how can you love others the way that you love yourself when you haven't loved yourself, right? Does that make sense? Get your house clean first and then go and clean up the world. You know what I'm saying? I hope that's helpful. Like, you know, like, I think that's good stuff. I hope it's helpful. And listen, chat, like, I understand, not all of you aren't religious. That's fine. Like, for those of you that are, hopefully this is helpful. But the thing, whether you're religious or not, it's hard to help somebody else when you're hurting, right? And so it's like what the flight attendant tells you. It's like what the flight attendant tells you. Before you put on the mask on your neighbor or your child or your loved one, put it on yourself. Flight attendant 101. Delta 316. Oh God, help us. What is happening on this stream tonight? I don't know if it's a lecture or a sermon or what. There's a lot going on tonight.
Since time immemorial, these sacred lands have been rich in
Delta 316. Sermon for sure. It feels more like a sermon. I don't mean it to be a sermon. It's just when you're talking about religious studies, sometimes it delves into that because there's good stuff in it, right? That's the best Jesus to flight attendant segue you've ever heard. Hey, listen. Whether the speaker of truth is sacred scriptures or the muffled intercom of a 747 or whatever.
My precious materia, where are you? No need to be shy, come out. Yuffie's gonna take you home. My precious materia, where are you? No need to be shy, come out. Yuffie's gonna take you home. And back to prayer.
We can tap into the flow of the planet's spiritual energy and bring it into ourselves. First, a deep, calming breath.
I am on that PSSR high.
Visualize the energy entering into your lungs. Feel it work.
This is like true to practice here. It's so good. Just visualize, become aware of your entire body from your toes, making your way all the way up to the tip top of your head. Anybody ever done mindful breathing? It's really good. Wonder if in part 3 there will be similarities to the Book of Revelation that make a good lecture series. I bet there could be. I would love to see some of that. I would love to see. I'm always interested in apocalyptic depictions in video games, and especially religious apocalyptic stuff. I think it's interesting stuff. Attuning to the natural flow, and that's such a great way of thinking of prayer and ritual and stuff. It's an attunement of sorts. You're not earning anything, but it's an attunement to a mystery or a reality that's greater than you.
They are both one and the same. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh man, we just missed a lecture. Let's try to get her to restart it. That was a good one. You can see why Cosmo Canyon took me so long.
One day, we shall all return to and rejoin the greater whole.
Okay, teach us. Teach us again. I missed it. Oh, good. I love those kind of relaxation things that are going to improve your mood. I like it. It's just so helpful. Oh, good.
The teachings of planetology to others, or to focus on deepening our own understanding.
And isn't that just what we were talking about, right? Is it better to focus on my own sort of thing, or to share this with others? It's a great question. What's the greatest commandment? That's the moment right here, right?
Which would you say is a more worthy pursuit?
They are both one and the same. Wouldn't you agree? We are as much a part of the planet as it is a part of us. At one time, there was no distinction, no lines to separate us, and so long as we do not stray from our path, one day we shall all return to and rejoin the greater whole.
What a great way of understanding that, right, Chad? I love that. It is, again, this idea, by improving yourself and your understanding, you are connecting more deeply with the planet, with the mystery, right? So that then you are able to impact that which is around you. And so it's really one and the same, you know? It's very much like you are rejoining with the planet in some way, in those moments of devotion and attention and stuff. And then, as you are spreading those to others, you're also increasing that, because in some ways we're all very, very connected. There's a level of unity to that. I like that sort of philosophy, that kind of idea. It's interesting. So, let's continue. Yeah, I bet. I am a lore fiend in this area. I just love it. Have I been everywhere? Have I talked to... Not yet. Okay, we've already been up there. Okay. I think I've talked to literally everybody. Maybe not the card guy here. Yeah.
Since time immemorial.
I know. All the time. Got anything? I don't want to talk to the card guy. Alright, let's keep going. I do have some thoughts about Yuffie in this chapter. Aerith embodies a lot of Christ through sacrifice. Yeah, we're going to talk a lot about Aerith in chapter 13. Big time.
Lift yourselves high.
Put your faith in our great mother. She would never forsake us, never abandon us, for we are her children, one and all.
There are so many NPCs in Cosmo Canyon.
Watching over us, ever
And it's
keeping calamity at bay. If people everywhere resolved to not take her bounty for granted and offered up prayers of gratitude, no man, woman, or child would suffer.
Woo! Woo! If people everywhere offered up gratitude, then no one would suffer anywhere. If we were all truly grateful as a society, oh my gosh, that's banger NPC, so good. Wow. Okay, let's keep going. My goodness. Okay, let's go. Let's go up to Big Boo. Oh no, it's getting choppy for you? I don't know. I'm not getting a lot of... Here's the PS5 Pro. I don't know. I'm not really getting any of that. I can do a couple things to maybe help. Let's try a couple things. Maybe... Let's try to fix it by going here and then maybe back here. Usually I get a lot of notifications if it starts stuttering, but I'm not getting those notifications. So maybe it will pass? I don't know. Probably need to move to a place with Google Fiber. Fiber internet. And I come to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Yeesh. Let us see here. It's buffering for you a bit. I wish there was something I could do. I wish there was something I could do. Yeah. Stream pauses? Thought it was just you? Listen, I don't know. That's so crazy. Let's see if I can shut down anything. That is so frustrating. Let's see if I can shut down anything. Sorry. Nothing else is open. That's the problem. So maybe it's just a Comcast thing. RDK. It's probably just a Comcast thing. Maybe it was a scene thing. No freezing now. Let's see, we can try to click this and then try to do this, and that might rebuffer it for a second. Okay, well, let's see if that works, and if it doesn't, we'll fix it. Yeah, I'm not getting any dropped frames on my side. It's weird. Okay.
Not so fast. Sorry, but visitors aren't allowed in here. You see, this is where we keep all our valuables.
Go figure. Yours is okay? It's been fine for the last 2 minutes? Okay, well, we'll deal with it if it comes back up. All right. Oh, look at that canyon. Look at that canyon down there. I just don't remember. Did it have that draw distance? I'm sure it did. Com crap. Seriously, Comcast has been killing me lately. The chat is laggy, really? I don't know, it seems pretty good to me. But I decay. Oh my gosh, look at all that. Lovely, okay. Let's speed it up. We got things to do.
Oh, these are the friends I was talking about.
Thank you for looking after Mamaki. My name is Bugenhagen. I teach planetology here in the canyon. One could say I know a thing or two about our world.
A thing or two? I doubt there's a thing or two you don't know about it.
Well, it might seem that way to a child like yourself.
I'm not a child anymore. I'm 48.
40 what?
Nanaki here has a long life ahead of him. In human terms, I would say he's about 15 or 16 years old.
That's more than old enough. I can protect our Vale and everyone in it. Which is more than I can say for my good-for-nothing father.
Speaking of the members of our little community, have you announced your return to one and all, Namaki?
Not yet. Be right back.
But where are my manners? Please, come in and have a look around.
All right.
If we've anything to fear, it is not our fellow man, nor any creature big or small, with whom we share our home. It is that which comes from beyond the confines of this world, that which disrupts the natural order, the other which may attempt to claim and consume the planet. And so I bid you, her children, to join hands and come together, for united, we shall never succumb to fear of celestial calamity.
40 what? Okay, let's keep going.
Anarchy never had much exposure to the outside world. I can only hope his travels with you have served to enlighten him. Oh, have my devices piqued your curiosity? They are essential to my studies of the planet.
A warm welcome to you,
Friends of Nanaki. Okay. Look at all these calculations we can look at in here. Look at that. These definitely look a lot crisper.
That records fluctuations in various energies. I must ask that you handle it with care. It's a rather delicate device, you see.
Oh, I love this stuff. Oh, I love it. I love it's just like a museum of history and science and research. You've got dinosaurs, crystals.
While that may appear to be little more than a glistening mineral at a glance, it is in fact a crystallized collection of our planet's memories.
This does kind of change the way you visit museums, doesn't it? It's like the story of your planet's memories.
That's a scale model of our planet and the surrounding stars. One could say the dust it's collected represents the people who live upon it.
Goddess Midgar, real talk. When I was writing my dissertation, that's what my home looked like. There were just books everywhere, on every table, in every room, in bathrooms, like literally everywhere. So I get it. As a researcher that was writing something at one point in my life, that's what it was like. And this guy's doing a lot more research than I was doing, I think. So I get it. It's awful. Awful. A couple of years of just books everywhere. You could never clean anything. Because it was like, I need page 52 of that one book that's on my coffee table. Oh, it was just such a mess at all times. It was good though. So many neat things in here though. I love it. Oh. Are these guns? Rifles? No. Those are canes. Interesting. Yes, I agree. It makes so much more sense for this to be the observatory. Yes. Oh, yellow flowers. So you got to follow the yellow flowers. That's the one thing I know about yellow flowers. You got to follow them. And everybody's sweeping. See, I didn't have anybody sweeping for me during my dissertation. Some more yellow flowers. Hello.
Working here is an incredible honor.
Yep. How's that blank piece of paper treating you? Studying hard or pretending to look that way?
You recognize that little scamp? I'll have you know that in his childhood, none
Yeah,
was quite
gee,
a
that's
handful.
exactly right. Oh, look at little Nanaki. Bless him. Sweet little guy. It's sweet. Bugenhagen had a little hologram of Nanaki so that he wouldn't miss him. Fresh. There's some weird things. A Gerbery. Hey, Thieves. Yep, look at that clock. Mm-hmm. What time is on that clock? It looks like it's 4 o'clock. Almost. No, it's 5 o'clock. Yeah, it's right at 5 o'clock. No, it's 4:45. 4:45. Let's make sure. We can do that now. Yeah, that's a 4:45, all right. How about that? Now we know exactly what time it was at Cosmo Canyon when Cloud visited. It was 4:45, everybody, in the afternoon. Cosmo Canyon time.
Nanaki never had much exposure to the outside world. I can only hope his travels with you have served to enlighten him.
Mm-hmm.
They
They have.
essential to my studies of the planet.
What's this thing?
That is one of the
I
first
feel like a little
Mongol
kid.
detectors ever
What's
built.
this? It's rain time.
Though I suspect it can't detect much now.
Well. A little Mako detector. Aerith, what are you looking at over here? Nothing. Just chilling. Like a villain. Okay, hang on. No, I ain't done with you. We gotta look over here first.
Let's not be hasty. I'll show you that room later.
But I want to go now. Pretty. More yellow flowers. Bugenhagen loves yellow flowers. It did sound like the radio in Silent Hill 2. You're right, lady.
That right there is a type of a current generator. It harnesses the power of the wind to produce new airflows of its own. Perhaps you've encountered them before during your travels.
A few, you know. I'm gonna keep looking through your house, dude. Cool. And what's up here? Oh, hello, friends.
The lights we observe here have traveled to us from the far reaches of time and space. To gaze at the stars is to gaze into their past, what they once were, eons ago.
Can't say I'm all that interested in the future, but that's just how we're wired. Humans can't help but fixate on the past, on what used to be.
Fixated on the past, isn't that the truth? Ah, man, that's good.
Mind your manners in front of fellow Bugenhagen.
Y'all, let's come back to this guy because boy, doesn't that... This is just so good. Listen, looking at the stars makes us see things as they were once. And isn't that the way humanity is? It's so good. Listen.
Can't say I'm all that interested in the future, but that's just how we're wired. Humans can't help but fixate on the past, on what used to be.
And take that alongside what Aerith says in chapter 13, the Temple of the Ancients, right? What's done, what's in the past, there's no changing that. But what we can do is look to the future. She is saying we have to do what is not natural for humanity. We want to look at the past. We want to fix what went wrong in the past, but you can't. The extraordinary thing to do is to look at the future and to shift your focus. We can't drive forward looking in the rearview mirror, and that's such a great thing. So that pairing with what Aerith says later, love it. What a great foreshadowing.
You won't find a larger telescope on the planet. With it, you can see to the edge of the galaxy. There's no better view of the stars than through this scope. But the lens could do with some cleaning. My apologies.
My apologies.
The planet connects us, one and all, for everything exists through her.
All right, we've delayed it long enough. It's time to go down to the good old biggest planetology lecture of them all. I want to look through the telescope too. I wish I could. Maybe in the PS5 Pro I can. To the galaxy's edge. The edge of creation even. I want to go to Disney World. Well, let's look at these things. Look at these pretty pictures. It seems Bugenhagen likes to photo mode too. Relatable. Relatable. Okay. Down we go, boo.
That again, huh?
Alright, now, as we come into this kind of final piece here, because we're not doing all of the stuff tonight, we're going to stop just shy of the lantern ceremony. Because tonight is all about really all of these lectures, understanding what Cosmo Canyon is and how we kind of deal with this. I've got one final lecture that I want to share with you, but we need to get through some of these things first. So let's go into these next scenes. As we go through it, I want us to think about the difference between, and I kind of mentioned this earlier, what we've always known to be true and what happens when we're faced with conflicting information. There's a phrase that we sometimes use in a lot of our classes, and it's the idea that there's this tension between dogma and the data. The dogma and the data. What you believe and what is reality. And what do you do when there's this dogmatic sense about a tribe or a culture or a philosophy, a group around a philosophy, when there's new light that's shed on something? Do you shift? Do you assimilate? Or do you resist? I'm going to talk a little bit more about that and one of the ways that we've done that in history before we close out tonight. But let's watch this as an example.
That's the planet crying out. A sorrowful dirge indeed. One I've heard all too often of late. This tubing allows us on the surface to hear the inner voice of the planet.
What we just heard didn't come from the planet, though. That was definitely the voice of a weapon.
You seem awfully sure of yourself, miss.
Because we saw them with our own eyes. 2 in the Corral and Gongaga reactors. They were loud and huge.
A fascinating account, were it true. However, such grand delusions could be a sign of Mako poisoning. Do see a doctor.
Excuse me?
Oh. Yes. That would do them some good. Judging from everything you've said, the 3 of you are unfamiliar with basic planetology. But it is never too late to learn. Please, come with me.
Isn't this... Oh, thank you for the follow. Isn't this a great way of kind of introducing this? It reframes the Cosmo Canyon lecture in such a great way, because what was just kind of like a really interesting sequence in the past is now like, oh, you don't understand this stuff. Let me show this to you. Clearly, you don't understand the basics of planetology. It's rude, but it's also a protection of what he's always believed to be true. Why? Because what they're saying, the existence of weapons, the awakening of these weapons, it doesn't vibe with his entire philosophy of the world. What happens when something conflicts with our philosophy of the world? Well, the first thing that we do is we try to kill the intrusion. We try to kill the intruding thought. We capture it, and we try to say, okay, this is why this isn't true. This is why it isn't right. Everything in my experience has said that isn't right, and so I'm discrediting it. Boy, what a great thing to kind of understand about ourselves. We all have this propensity to defend ourselves and our values and our philosophies against the outside intruder or the virus, right? And in this case, Tifa. So Bugenhagen comes off as rude and condescending, and that is one way of thinking of it. Another way of thinking of it is he's trying to protect what he understands, because to alleviate, to give it away, is to have his entire worldview come crashing down. I'll be honest, I wish that I was self-aware enough at all times to understand that that's what I was doing in those moments. But most of the time, it's a knee-jerk reaction of like, oh, okay, you don't really understand, let me help you. So that's good stuff. So we'll definitely get in there. One of the elders in the OG Cosmo Canyon also mentions how Cosmo Canyon has lost its way in studying planetology. Yeah, so I love that that's a good call out here. At some point, they stopped learning, and they leaned into certainty. Really cool stuff. Term for that capture and kill desire. I don't know if there's a term for it. I don't know. Maybe there is. If there is, it escapes me at this moment.
I present to you our planetarium. While the
Thanks,
Shinra
man.
building features the latest iteration, this particular one is my original design. Now then, without further ado...
All right, let's watch this in its entirety, and then we'll discuss. God, this game is beautiful. Gosh, it's beautiful.
Wow.
This is only the beginning.
A shooting star.
Planetology is not simply the study of the cosmos and the celestial bodies that dwell in it. Rather, It is a quest to comprehend the cyclical nature of life. Behold, the planet we call home. It was from its soil, so teeming with life, that mankind was born. And like all living things, man is fated to die.
Very matter of fact.
So, what happens next? The body withers and returns to the planet. But what of the mind, the spirit, the soul? Much like its former vessel, it too returns whence it came. To the great river where all intertwine and circle the planet without end. A cycle of continuous convergence and divergence. The ceaseless ebb and flow that is the life stream. An apt name, though it is as much a reservoir as it is a stream, being the sum of the planet's spiritual energy. It is the very essence of our star, the blood coursing through its planetary veins. And if ever that essence were to be entirely depleted,
I love it.
Of course, these are but basic principles of planetology.
So you're saying that Mako is spiritual energy, which we're using up?
Just so. Siphoned from the planet and processed for industry, that energy can no longer fulfill its true purpose. It is fated to fuel man's machinery and fade away.
Okay, but does it actually fade away? I mean, what if it doesn't? What if it just returns to the life stream in a different form? Is that possible?
A novel theory, suggestive of a lack of understanding. However, that can be overcome with time and education.
You rang?
Please escort this young lady to our seminar room, would you?
Right this way. Okay.
Hey, can I come?
So chat, one of the interesting things there is that when faced with something that was on the other side, right? Bugenhagen simply states what he knows to be reality. And then when faced with more questions, he really kind of says, no, it's not that, it's this. And he blames it on a lack of understanding. I think it's kind of classic sort of stuff there. Let's talk to him real quick.
Planet runs out of energy. It and everything on it dies, right?
Yes.
There any way to avoid this? Like, making the spiritual energy stronger?
Why are you asking me such things? I'm sorry. I've come to realize that I'm somewhat stuck in the past. We've entered an era in which humanity exerts unprecedented influence over its environs. And as both the planet and society evolve, so too must science. And yet it seems that I cannot. Perhaps I'm much too old of a
This is
dog
where he
learn
begins to
any
get some of that self-awareness, right? I think that's good
Was
stuff.
my exploration of planetology not to your liking? Perhaps a seminar would provide a more agreeable experience.
Go talk to another expert, right? Sub, I think this is good. I find something very interesting about this question from Tifa after listening to it 100 times. Rather than fading away, which was my understanding of the OG, returning in a different form. What do you make of that, Sub? I think it's interesting. He's so grumpy. Hey, Tony, how you doing? This is very FF Spirits Within, yeah. Oh, man. Tifa! Moo, I'm so glad. I'm glad that you found that. Yeah, well, so an elder entitled but not acting like an elder in terms of being receptive to new perspectives, especially in his reaction to Tifa. Yeah, hey, thank you, Rivaldo. Appreciate it. I think you're onto something there, but oftentimes, I mean, this is the difficulty of people in power, right? Whether you're a professor or an elder or a religious leader or whatever it is, I think that there's a level of humility and an embrace of mystery rather than certainty that is necessary in order to not only teach, but to understand, right? You can't go into a book or a conversation assuming the outcome, knowing the outcome, which, let's talk about this for a second. If you've already read the book, if you already know how things beginning, middle, and end, then you're much more likely to fight those that are going to subvert it to some degree, right? You're going to become protective of it. And that's kind of what we talk about with this stuff regarding predestination and free will and things with this game. Sephiroth and Aerith, to some degree, both of them have a foreknowledge of what the planet's will is and what the planet is doing. And while the planet and the Whispers are trying to rein all of it in, Sephiroth is pushing against all of that. And this is one of those same sort of things of like, Bugenhagen knows that he's right, and he's protecting everything like the Whispers to some degree. And sometimes that's good, right? Sephiroth seeks to subvert the certainty of the planet's will. But there's a difference when it's the planet versus when it's a human elder. Interesting stuff. Sub, don't have a great answer, potentially coming back as negative live stream or corrupted. Interesting. They would need to explain that a lot. The OG makes it seem like the planet and everything just dies, but this idea of changing form, I almost wonder if it's similar to how different emotions can change you as a person. That's good. That's interesting. Maybe why there is such a focus on negative emotions from Sephiroth versus positive emotions from Aerith. Yeah, boy, isn't that the truth? That's good. Yeah, I think there's a lot to be thinking about there. That's interesting, compelling stuff. All right, let's keep going. We're almost to the end of tonight's lecture play. The Legend of the Gi. Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that. Let's go talk to the lecturers.
We've all been worried sick about Nautica.
Hang on, am I going the right way? I think I may be going the wrong way. No, I'm going the right way. Yeah. Okay, let's go. What's up, Angelus Noctis? Love the double name there.
I never thought you could become even more enchanted.
It's like you're singing to me of the planet's wisdom.
Thanks so much for taking such great care of Nanaki for us. Fellow Bugenhagen instructed me to let you take anything you think might prove useful on your journey. Check out the storeroom when you have a chance.
What is FFTSW? What is that? Oh, can't wait, sub. Oh my gosh. Let's go on a little journey through Red's past, shall we, in the treasury? I hope you're enjoying the very slow walk we're doing through Cosmo Canyon tonight. We ain't in a rush. God knows we ain't in a rush around here. Okay, let's look at a few little things in here. First of all, well, we'll go down that way in just a moment. Let's first go into this little treasure trove. Oh, the spirits within? Oh, Final Fantasy, the spirits within. I didn't understand. Yeah, the spirits within. Got it. Okay, so here we have a normal little Mako spring, or life spring. That's good. Here we have a turtle shell. Okay, that's good to know. Oh, we've got a ceremonial type rug down there and a rope. We love that. But then we come over just a little bit and we have a giant skull. And what are these pictures? We've got an antelope. Some sort of thing there. That's good. Oh, and look at this. Look at the Choco Cat. Do you see this? It's one of those cats, but it's a chocobo that goes like that. Have you ever seen this? That's pretty cool. That is so neat. I love that. Let's zoom in. It's a Choco Cat. Hello, Choco Cats. Then right next to it, it looks like we got a little Black Mage hat. That's not a Black Mage hat, but it kind of looks like it. And we've got a Costa del Sol wreath up there. That's good. Let's keep moseying. That's awesome, little Choco Cat. At first, I thought it was a White Mage Chocobo. I've got a White Mage Chocobo on my shelf behind me. I don't know if you can see it. It's is it on this side? Yeah. It's like right up there. Yeah, that's a White Mage Chocobo. Yeah. It's so cool. This game's so rich. And what's that? Is that a Tonberry? Does that look like a Tonberry to you guys right there? Kind of looks like a Tonberry dummy. Maybe it's like a Scarecrow Tonberry. So we got a typewriter and the first phone. Yeah, that's pretty good. The attention to detail is out of this world. Are you kidding me? Like, out of this freaking world, man. It's so delicious. It does look like a Tonberry, right? There's a horse skull. Let me take a picture of this Tonberry. I think it's a good one. Nope. Looks like a Tonberry to me. Okay, let's mosey on down. Anything else we can see here? Okay, now here's what I really love. I love the story of Red. I love the story of Red here, right? I mean, look at this sweet, sweet boy. Look at him. Trying to find just the right angle here. You got him with his parents. There's Seto. Oh, see, and it reminds you that his dad was good, right? Even though he thinks his dad was bad, it reminds you, like, his dad loved him, right? His dad was with him. That's good stuff. You look here, and they're not as interested in these pictures, but that's so pretty. So over here, nothing really crazy going on there. So now we walk down here. Oh, look at this. Look at this preciousness. Look at this beautiful preciousness. Him and his little Nala. Little Nanaki and Nala. I'm going to call her Nala. I think she's actually got a name. Dene, yeah. Is it Dene? I think it's... I always called her Nala. I think he's cute. Super cute. Can't go up there. And you know, if you're just like speeding through this game, you're gonna miss little subtle touches like that, and that's fine. But like, I love that the world rewards the exploration like this. Isn't that good? I love that this game just rewards the people that are curious. Definitely Nala. Oh, and here we go. There's Seto again, with little Nanaki right there. I mean, isn't that cool? I mean, that is so Lion King coded. I can't even stand it. I love it. It's so good. And bound up here real fast. I don't know why I'm collecting all these bad boys, but here we are for an itemless run up here. I guess we got money. Beautiful. Okay, let's mosey on down here then. Seto just looks gigantic, right? Yeah, that's gorgeous. I freaking love it. What time? It just eats me up, yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, it is a bigger world in every sense. And I love it. Oh, look at that beautiful Cosmo freaking Canyon sunset. What? Oh my gosh, where am I gonna take a picture? Oh, that is glorious. Oh my, look at this Cosmos sunset. Look at Pensive Cloud. Oh, that's a freaking wallpaper right there. Look at this guy. Oh dear God, you guys. Oh, that is a banger. Look, Square Enix promotional materials, baby. Oh my gosh, look at that thing. Look how good that looks. Dear God. That is a work of art. Dear Lord. That is stunning. Oh my gosh, we've got another banger here. A game so beautiful that every shot is just stunning. What? What's up, supportive? How you doing, my dude? Oh, look at that tree. Why am I so like jazzed about a tree? And a sweet umbrella. Oh, this looks like astronomers. Oh my gosh, you guys. How is every picture just so beautiful? It tells a story. Oh my gosh, it's stunning. I'm gonna have to go back to the Grasslands at sunset, that's for sure. Oh my gosh, that looks like the end of Remake. Oh my God, you guys. Okay, let's get one with his face. Man. Take one without cloud. Okay. Oh, look at that. Chat. What? Wow. Dear God, look at this. Oh my gosh. Chat. What? It looks so real. What? This is out of this world. Oh, look at that with the tree there. Prof's photography mode. This is a photography course. What? Viv would have loved this. I love it. Hey, I want to see something real fast. Ah! Where am I going? Okay, go upstairs, go upstairs, go upstairs. I wanted to see if the clock changed, but it didn't. Oh man, that would have been a cool thing. I was wondering if it was going to be like 5:15, but no. Okay, just wanted to check. Just wanted to check and see. We're thorough around here for research. The clock is broken. Yeah, probably. Okay, let's... Ooh, look at that. Oh, Cosmo Canyon from above. What? Oh, and that's where the whole thing's going to be. Oh my gosh, you guys. What is this game? What is this game? It's just stunning. How many times have I played this section and yet still I'm just... Oh, I've already talked to you, lady. Okay, we're gonna go downstairs to the old... We're gonna go to these ceremonies, or seminars. And after the seminars, that's where we're calling it a night. We're gonna start out the next stream with Aerith's ritual. Okay. And then we'll go into the Gi next time as well, or the, yeah, all that stuff.
Put your faith in our great...
This village is lame. Did you know none of the materia here is even real? And don't get me started on the planetologists. Bunch of blowhards in love with the sound of their own voice. This village is... And don't get me started on the planetologists.
Again, this is great from Yuffie, by the way, because Yuffie, number one, comes from a different culture where they don't believe this stuff in Wutai. But
there's something that's truly magical about
it's interesting that she's also very, like, young and childish. And so it kind of is like, okay, this is how a child acts in the face of another culture. Yet how similar is it between her, a child, and Bugenhagen, this supposed elder?
If people everywhere resolved to not take her bounty for granted and offered up prayers of gratitude, no man, woman, or child would suffer.
Great stuff. Okay, we've heard a lot of these NPCs. Let's go on to the seminar.
The planet's thoughts and memories.
Oh.
By unlocking this knowledge, it allows us to heighten our spiritual potency. I invite you to do so now.
Set free the secrets within and lift yourselves higher. Now that's a big piece of dialogue there. Boy, it really does feel...
expansive and enthralling.
It really feels like all of the secrets of this game are in Cosmo Canyon.
The planet's thoughts and memories.
Memories.
By unlocking this knowledge.
Tell me.
I heard from fellow Bugenhagen. By all means, please come and join the seminar. Follow me if you would.
Follow me if you
Which would you say is a more worthy pursuit?
They are both one and the same.
Alright, let's follow him to the seminar.
I ask you this, who among you has looked in?
I want to go to Sunset Cosmo Canyon. Yes.
I've always been on the bigger side, but I've never been into physical stuff. Painting and poetry are more my thing. My old man, he used to say it was a waste, me spending all my time indoors.
I wonder,
According
Angelus.
to him, a big kid like me was using twice as much spiritual energy as other folks, and I was a burden on the planet. But he was wrong. That extra energy I received from the planet, it was a blessing. And after imbuing it with my compassion and intellect, I'll give it right back. No way is that a waste. It's just the opposite.
Indeed it is. Thank you for sharing.
Isn't that good?
Blessings of the planet be upon you.
Now, would anyone else like to share their story with the group?
So, my parents are no longer with us. Here, that is. But I believe they're still out there, on another plane. I've been reading a bunch of theories about this alternate world in the hope of going there someday.
And over the course of my studies, I stumbled across a fascinating theory. It addressed the issue of what the life stream is, arguing that spiritual energy is actually a manifestation of our knowledge and memories. Like I said, it's a fascinating theory, but it's incomplete. What about our hopes and dreams? We remember those, don't we? So what if spiritual energy doesn't distinguish between our real, lived memories and the unrealized desires buried deep in our hearts? What if coming into contact with that energy allowed us to peer through the looking glass, so to speak? It's just an idea, but I hope to find the truth someday.
It's good.
Well, isn't that splendid?
Blessings of the planet be upon you.
And may the bounty of the planet's knowledge be with you.
Isn't that splendid? Yeah.
Now then, would anyone else like to share their story? Don't be shy. Every contribution is welcome.
And so, chat, like, so you've probably heard this a million times by now, but that NPC dialogue's big, right? Because it's talking about what if the live stream is in part these alternate worlds of all of our dreams and manifestations of the will, the desire, the hopes, in addition to just normal memories. I think that's so interesting, right? And we certainly see that in chapter 14 with Aerith's dream, with the multiple possibilities of Zack, and that's one of the things that I want to talk about for True Knight. Here's what I'll say. I'm going to talk about that NPC in my chapter 14 lecture. So hold on to your hat. It's coming. Because that one's going to take a while. I've got 11 billion years to talk about that one, chapter 14. Because it has a lot to do with religious theologies like predestination. And so I'm going to talk about a ton of stuff. Wonder if it's similar to some stuff you've thought on chapter 14. It might. I might. It might be the same, but it's definitely going to be very religious studies focused, and the tension of free will and predetermined will and possibility and all the rest. So that's going to be a good one. We've got more lectures in order to set the foundation for that. So get excited. It's going to be a good one. So stay tuned, True Knight. I'm glad that you're hyped for that one. Yeah, that dialogue is the key. It's the key to really understanding what's happening in chapter 14. And it's missable, y'all. I freaking love it. Okay. They really liked that one. Me too.
What about you, miss? You must have a story to share. Please.
And he's been very accepting of everyone else's, but...
Okay. Where to begin? I fell into the life stream. I don't have words to describe it, except beautiful, maybe? It was a lot to take in. Feelings of kindness washed over me. Long forgotten memories came flooding back. It was a warm, comforting place. But there was also conflict. A war between the planet and its enemies. And we can't let them win. We need the planet, and it needs us. We have to rise up, fight back, defend it from this terrible threat. Thing is...
God, she's so good.
I don't know how to do any of that. And I hoped you might have the answer. I'm not criticizing planetology or anything, and I'm not trying to scare anybody either. I just... You know... Never mind. This is all coming out wrong.
Smith, yeah.
Please, do not be discouraged. Should you ever wish to try again, we would be more than happy to listen. What matters is that you keep challenging your beliefs. Stop doing that, and the answers will forever elude you. On that note,
says the one that
I
isn't
think we
challenging
should
his
adjourn
beliefs.
For the evening. The River of Lights is almost upon us, so let us head to the torch.
I'll see you at the festival.
Thief. So chat, this is where I want to kind of call it a night, but before we do, there's something I want to say that kind of wraps up all of this. We've talked a lot tonight about the tension between dogma and new data, right? And dogma is oftentimes described or defined as the collective accepted set of values and beliefs of a particular culture, right? It is, it's essentially the, it's the set of values and beliefs or the philosophy that's kind of espoused and set out by an authority. And usually it can't be questioned, right? And this is the way that fandoms are, ideologies, philosophies, politics, religion, all the things that are kind of dicey, right? There's a dogmatic set of principles and beliefs that groups who have surrounded themselves or identified themselves as heavily guard. That's what makes dogma really, really challenging, because when you identify yourself around a set of beliefs or a philosophy, it can be good for bolstering that identity, but it can be really difficult to take in new information. This is where we begin to get into realms, especially in religious studies, which is what I teach, realms of deconstruction, right? Deconstruction begins when one's dogma is insufficient to explain or to assimilate conflicting information and data. This is the dichotomy of dogma and data. Sometimes dogma and data align, and that's how, belief systems and patterns and religions really begin to take hold. But in light of new data, what do? Cosmo Canyon gives us the answer of that. A lot of people kind of stay in surface, shallow sort of ends, and they never really worry about that kind of thing. But those that take something incredibly seriously are going to eventually come to terms with some conflicting information. So the options at that point are either to go back into the shallow end, or to dismiss the new data, or to villainize the new data, or to find ways to assimilate it. I want to tell you a story. And this is a story from Christian tradition. You've heard of the Enlightenment. The Enlightenment was this time of incredible new data coming to light, and much of the data that was brought about, new ways of thinking about the world, new discoveries, advent of new sciences and understanding, these were a great conflict with the dogmas of the day, particularly the religious dogmas of the day. And as you can imagine, there were a lot of resistors, those that would deny some of the Enlightenment claims. There were a lot of villainization. We hear stories of people being branded and labeled as heretics and all that kind of thing. But there were some that didn't want to drop their religion or the Enlightenment ideals. There was one guy, his name was Richard Hooker, and a member of the Church of England, and kind of a philosopher of the day as well, or at least amenable to Anglican and religious thought. He said, when we're thinking about things, we need to really talk about it in these three ways. He said, first and foremost, when it comes to stuff, we've got to think about Scripture. He was talking specifically to Christians. We look at Scripture, and Scripture is our primary authority. And everybody's like nodding, and they're like, yep, that's right. So Scripture's our first stop. What does the Bible say? But we don't stop there. The second thing we do is we incorporate tradition. Tradition of the church. Tradition all the way back to the apostles. What does the tradition of our community say? How far back does that go? What have we said about this particular issue or thought since the beginning of our community? So you've got Scripture and tradition. But with the advent of the Enlightenment, there was a new thing. He said, a third piece that we've got to consider is reason of the day. So while Scripture may be primary, tradition helps us understand Scripture, but reason helps us ask important questions of Scripture. It helps us ask important questions of our tradition. And it helps us get to the fact beyond some of the fiction that we've had. So in the post-Enlightenment, he created this in a book or a work called Laws of Ecclesiastical Authority. And this revolutionized and in many ways helped preserve the church in a time when the Enlightenment should have ended Christianity, or at least made it irrelevant. And the reason that I know this is because it greatly informed some of the current Protestant traditions that we have today, including Wesleyan and Methodist and kind of revivalist movements. Because in addition to Scripture, tradition, and reason, there was introduced this idea of personal experience, where if Scripture is primary, and tradition helps vivify Scripture and understand the community's take, reason helps us understand the philosophies of the world and new sciences and new discoveries, the final piece is a person's experience. It's Tifa saying, hey, this is a new experience that I don't exactly know what to do with. I think that's kind of interesting. This is for what's his name? Albert Outler, a Wesleyan theologian, scholar, historian. He organized this, calling it the Wesleyan Quadrilateral. And theology and orthodoxy, in a lot of ways, comes to terms with all four of these. It's saying, this is how we understand the world around us, through Scripture, tradition, reason, and personal experience. And experience is the one that holds the least weight, and Scripture is the one that holds the most weight. So, now, different organizations, different institutions, different denominations and churches are going to hold those a little bit differently. But I've always found that it's pretty good. One final thing, and this is for those that are Christians. I think this is a really good thing. I heard somebody describe this one time as a wind chime, where Scripture is like the bar at the top, and it holds in tradition, reason, and experience. And alone, it's pretty, and it's held together by Scripture, but it's only through the wind of the Spirit that blows through it where you're able to hear this beautiful music and the noise that it makes, and it helps you sense something beyond. And I think that's a kind of beautiful image. So here's the challenge for all of us, whether you are religious, whether you're not, whether you are trying to make sense of the world around you. What I would encourage you to do is simply this. Cosmo Canyon reminds us, and it teaches us, to be humble, to keep asking questions. We are experts in our own experience, but we should also be explorers of others' experiences. You're an expert in your own experience, especially if you're self-aware. Sometimes we can be a little aloof to the things that happen in our lives. But you are an expert in the history of your experience. But let us continue to be explorers of other experiences and expressions. I like that a lot. So, with that, that closes out our lecture tonight. It's been a good one. It's been a good vibe. And I hope that you've learned something. I hope that you've been entertained a little bit. We sang a little bit. I whistled. Yeah. So take that. And we'll be back next Tuesday, where we will continue our journey to Cosmo Canyon. We're going to start out with the River of Lights. It's going to be beautiful. I'm so glad. I hope that it's been a good vibe for you tonight. I hope you've learned a lot. I hope it was worth the wait after the power outage, but it feels like tonight was a good one for us to pick back up on. So I hope that you have been blessed by this. Is Blitz still going? I'd love to raid him. That'd be great. All right, everybody. We are going to raid Blitz, so hang in there. Gotta hype my own stuff real quickly. We did release a super packed, jam-packed episode of the Prof Weekly Show with Final Fantasy Union this past Monday. Make sure you go over to youtube.com and you check that one out. Daryl from FF Union is amazing. You want to listen to that for sure. We'll be back on Tuesday and Thursday of next week, where we will be talking about more Cosmo Canyon and certainly the Gi and all that kind of stuff. So, also on Monday, let me just tell you this. After you listen to Final Fantasy Union, on Monday we're dropping Sector 6. And y'all are going to love Sector 6. That was one of the most fun episodes that we recorded. We laughed until it hurt. And it was just so good. Sector 6 is such a great dude. So I can't wait for you to listen to that one. So get ready for that. That'll drop Monday at noon. With that, let's go over and let's raid Blitz. And make fun of him for getting his PS5 Pro so late in the day. That's good. All right, you guys. As always, you are the freaking best. Remember to like and subscribe. Tell your friends about the content. And we will see you next week, my friends. Hang in there. Let's raid Blitz real fast. And we'll see you later. All right, we are starting our raid right now in 3, 2, 1. Buddy, hop in. Be loud. Yell. Scream. Get Blitz super hype. Okay, bye everybody. Y'all have a great night.
How far is Jamar chasing 300 yards? Oh snap! Professor Noctis! Tifa!
Sorry, just thinking out loud. Forget about it.
We over here chilling with the pisser technology, bro. How was your pisser technology? The whole chat screaming Tifa, let's go! Man, Prof Raid. P. Wade! My boy, how was your stream? What'd you guys do? Let me guess. You guys played with your Diddy Station 5s. So earlier we had, so I don't have it hooked up anymore, but I had my old PS5 connected to my other capture card, and we ran a side-by-side comparison, and dude, it's crazy night and day for Rebirth, specifically, seeing how it used to look in comparison to what it looks like now. Mind blowing. It's like 41 yards away.
I'm no expert on Nibelheim, but I was that it's the only lead we have on that materia. So, not much choice.
Yeah. It's this or nothing. We should get going.
We're messing around with Tifa's Unfettered Fury. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna give you guys a little. I'm gonna show you guys some sauce. Ready? You guys ready for some sauce? Check this out. So, the Tifa.
Deal with
right?
that.
Let me
We'll get one sheet trap to come out, and then we'll punch again. Punch again. Punch again. You see her ATB? That shit shot up like crazy.